about the last phylum of kingdom Animalia, that is Phylum Chordata. As you all know, this Phylum Chordata consisting of a very familiar and highly developed organism. Then what kind of animal comes under Phylum Chordata? The species of Phylum Chordata or all chordate should have to have three basic characters, that is presence of notochord, presence of dorsal hollow nerve cord and presence of paired pharyngeal gill slits. So all chordate should have to have these three basic characters. First one is presence of notochord. On the dorsal surface of all chordate, they have this notochord. Notochord is a elongated rod-like cylindrical structure which is solid in nature and it is present just below the nerve cord or just above the alimentary canal or in between the nerve cord and the alimentary canal. You can see elongated solid rod-like structure called as notochord. This notochord made up of notochordial cells which makes up the internal skeleton of these organisms, because of which it gives support to the body of this organism. In the case of lower chordate, simple notochord may be present throughout the life, whereas in the case of higher chordate, this notochord is replaced by bony or cartilaginous vertebral column. Anyhow, either in the embryonic stage or in the adult stage, all chordates should have to have this notochord. Second one is presence of dorsal hollow nerve cord. So nerve cord is present just above the notochord. Nerve cord is a elongated tubular hollow fluid filled structure which is present just above the notochord on the dorsal surface of the body. And this nerve cord made up of nerve cells and nerve fiber. In the case of lower chordate, simple nerve cord is present throughout the life, whereas in the case of higher chordate, this nerve cord is developed or replaced by brain and the spinal cord, which makes up the central nervous system. So in the case of higher chordate, this nerve cord forms brain and the spinal cord. Brain is covered by a brain box or cranium or the skull. So that is about the nerve cord. So either in the embryonic stage or in the adult stage, one should have to have nerve cord in all chordate. Third one is paired pharyngeal gill slits. So all chordates should have to have this pair of pharyngeal gill slits or pair of gill slits on either side of the pharynx. In the case of lower chordate, which lives in the aquatic medium, these gill slits help with respiration. That's why pharyngeal gill slits will be present throughout the life of these organisms. Whereas in the case of higher chordates, which lives in the terrestrial medium, this gill slits of no use because they are the lung breathers. So for the respiration they use not gills, they use lungs. That's why this pharyngeal gill slits of no use. That's why those higher chordates which lives in the terrestrial medium, they do not have this pair of pharyngeal gill slits. Anyhow, in the embryonic stage, they have traces of this pharyngeal gill slits. So either in the embryonic stage or in the adult stage, all chordate should have to have pair of pharyngeal gill slits. So these are the three fundamental or basic characters which are shown by all chordates. Apart from these fundamental characters, they also show some of the common character, like they are triploblastic in nature, they are the coelomate organism having bilateral symmetry, having organ system level of organization, and there are many important or unique characters shown by all these organisms which depends on the species. That is about the fundamental or basic character of Phylum Chordata. Now we'll talk about the classification of Phylum Chordata. Phylum Chordata is divided into three subphylum, that is subphylum Urochordata, subphylum Cephalochordata and subphylum Vertebrata. We'll talk about all these three phylum one by one. The subphylum Urochordata and Cephalochordata together called as Protochordata. So Protochordata have two members, that is subphylum Urochordata and Cephalochordata. First one is Urochordata. Urochordata consisting of organisms which are exclusively marine in nature. And the adult form of Urochordata are sessile in nature. Sessile means found attached to certain substratum, and these adult organisms are less developed, means they do not show much of the chordate character, whereas their larva, which is called as tadpole larva, so tadpole larva of Urochordata are well developed, means they shows all chordate character. As you can see, the notochord is present in the larval tail, or the tadpole larva consisting of notochord in the tail region. That's why they are called as Urochordata. Here Ura means tail. So tail region of the larva consisting of a notochord. That's why they are called as Urochordata. So they have less developed adult organism and well developed tadpole larva or larval forms which consisting of all chordate character. So this well developed larval form undergo retrogressive metamorphosis to form less developed adult form. So that is about the Urochordata, and the example for that is Isidia, Sarpa and Doliolum. Second one is subphylum Cephalochordata. The members of cephalochordates are exclusively marine in nature. So all organisms which comes under Cephalochordata are exclusively marine in nature, and they are free swimming form. So they have elongated fish-like body, and they shows all chordate character. So cephalochordate shows all chordate character, and in this organism the notochord is present from head to tail region. So the head region also consisting of a notochord in the case of cephalochordate. That's why they are called as cephalochordate. Here cephalon means head. So head region also consisting of notochord in the case of a cephalochordate. So notochord is present from head to tail region. That's why they are called as cephalochordate. And the example for that is branchiostoma, which is also called as amphioxus, which is commonly called as lancelet. So that is about the subphylum Cephalochordata. Third subphylum is vertebrata. Subphylum vertebrata is the largest subphylum among these three subphylum, and subphylum vertebrata consisting of highly developed organism. That's why they shows all chordate character. They have notochord, and this notochord is replaced by bony or cartilaginous vertebral column in the case of vertebrate. And if we talk about the nerve cord develops into brain and spinal cord in the case of vertebrate. So spinal cord and brain makes up the central nervous system. So brain is present in the anterior region, and it is covered by a brain box or cranium or the skull. So because of the presence of cranium, vertebrata is also called as craniata. So they have cranium, that is why they are called as craniata. So for the protection of the brain, the cranium is present in this organism. That's why they are called as craniata. Whereas Urochordata and Cephalochordata are called as acraniata. A means without. So because these organisms lack cranium, or they do not have cranium, that's why they are called as acraniata. Whereas vertebrata have cranium, that's why they are called as craniata. If we talk about the pharyngeal gill slits may be present throughout the life, or it may be present only in the embryonic stage, depends on the species of vertebrates. Apart from that, they have very important other characters, like they have two pairs of appendages, they have post-anal tail, and the circulatory system is closed in this organism, and they have ventral muscular heart which is 2, 3 or 4 chambered, depends on the species. Kidney also well developed, which helps in excretion and osmoregulation. Apart from that, vertebrate also shows very important other character which depends on the species. The subphylum vertebrata is further divided into two divisions, depends on the presence or absence of jaws. And the two divisions are division agnatha and division gnathostomata. Here in agnatha, A means without, gnathos means jaws. So these are the organism without jaws, or they lack jaws. Whereas in the case of division gnathostomata, these are the organism having jaws. All living species of division agnatha placed under a single class called as cyclostomata. So now we'll talk about the class cyclostomata or cyclostomes. Cyclostomes or species under the cyclostomata are exclusively marine in nature. Marine in nature means they are present in the marine habitat. They are ectoparasites on the large fishes. Means these organisms are found attach themselves to the body of the large fish and they get nutrients from the fish body itself. So they are ectoparasites on the large fishes. The body of these organisms is elongated, cylindrical in nature, which consisting of 6 to 15 gill slits that helps in respiration. They have circular suctorial or sucking type of mouth without jaws because it is agnatha. So they have circular suctorial mouth which consisting of several rows of horny teeth that helps in the attachment of these organisms to the body of large fishes. So circular suctorial mouth helps in the attachment of these organisms to the fish body. These organisms have cartilaginous cranium and a vertebral column. So they have cranium and vertebral column which is made up of cartilage. There is one more interesting feature of these organisms. As I already told, cyclostomes are exclusively marine in nature. But these organisms migrate to fresh water for spawning purpose. So for spawning purpose, these organisms migrate to fresh water. Few days after spawning, the adult will die. At that time, the fertilized egg will develop into larva and later this larva undergo metamorphosis to form a adult and later this adult return to the marine habitat or the ocean. So which is an interesting and important character of cyclostomata. And the example of cyclostomata is petromyzum which is commonly called as lamprey, myxin which is commonly called as hagfish. So that is about the division agnatha. Now we will talk about the division gnathostomata. Division gnathostomata are the organism which consisting of jaws or jaws are present in this organism. Division gnathostomata is further divided into two superclass based on the locomotory organ or based on the locomotory organ. Gnathostomata is divided into two superclass, that is superclass Pisces and superclass Tetrapoda. As you all know, Pisces or fishes are exclusively aquatic in nature, means they are present in the water medium, whereas Tetrapoda, most species of Tetrapoda are terrestrial in nature, means they are present in the terrestrial medium. So because fishes are present in the aquatic medium, they have gills which helps in the respiration. Whereas tetrapods are in terrestrial medium because of which they do not require gills or they breathe with the help of lungs. So they are the lung breathers. These Pisces have fins which helps in the locomotion, whereas in the case of tetrapods, they have two pairs of limbs that helps in locomotion or movement. So they have four limbs or two pairs of limbs. So because of the presence of four limbs, they are called as tetrapoda. Tetra means four, poda means appendages or legs. So that's why they are called as tetrapoda because they have four limbs. So here two pairs of limbs helps in locomotion in the case of tetrapoda. So these organisms have two-chambered heart. Pisces have two-chambered heart, whereas tetrapods have three or four-chambered heart, depends on the species. Pisces is further divided into two classes, that is contractics and class ostrictics, whereas tetrapoda is further divided into four classes, that is class amphibia, class reptilia, class waves and class mammals. So that is about the division gnathostomata. So that is all about the classification of a phylum Chordata with its basic or fundamental character. We'll discuss about the different classes in detail in the next video. I hope this video is useful. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.